Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Talk About Sleep. As you know, based on the book, Let's Talk About Sleep. As we close in or try to get close to 1,000 subscribers, when we get there, as I've said before, I will have a little drawing for the subscribers, and one random person will get a signed copy of this book. So keep a lookout for that. If you like this video, please click like. If you like the channel, please subscribe. Please share it with your friends and family. If you have questions, definitely leave it in the comment section below, because that's what today is about. Is once a month I'm going to answer questions and comments that people have put on either the YouTube channel itself or my Instagram, which is Daniel Barone MD, or other ways of asking me. So I have them all kind of printed out here, and I'll be referring to them as we go forward. Okay. And lastly, just as I always say, these videos are for educational purposes only. Okay. So with that being said, let's get started, shall we? And by the way, as I did last month's video, I will not be saying full names, even though everything is public. I'll be using like a shortened version of the people's name, just in case they don't want their stuff out there. Okay. So just if you asked a question or made a comment, you'll know who you are. Okay, so let's start it off with, these are a couple from Instagram. So J Dell said, "My back hurts every morning. I know I don't move much in my sleep." Yeah, that a lot of times has to do with body position during sleep. Okay, so the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, National Sleep Foundation, and just clinical people like myself, we always recommend this side is the best position to sleep in. Okay, kind of in the fetal position, right, with your hips and knees flexed. Your neck and your spine is in alignment. You don't want your head kinked this way or this way. You want to have a firm pillow, a firm bed, and have everything kind of in alignment. When people are not doing that, if they spend a lot of time on their stomach, let's say, for example, that can definitely lead to back pain. Sleeping on the back is not a good thing if there's any possibility of sleep apnea. Okay, so for those reasons, I recommend the side position, the fetal position, maybe a pillow between your legs for comfort, a pillow supporting your head. Okay, and a firm mattress. Okay. Next, also from Instagram, Deanna writes, "Had a sleep study, was told to have idiopathic hypersomnia, with possibly narcoleptic tendencies." She says, I'm paraphrasing here, she can't keep hallucinating all hours of the night. She sees bugs, leaky ceiling, blobs, spiders, a man in the window. Sometimes she'll wake up and she's frozen. And then it gives her anxiety, as you can imagine. Would melatonin help me or do nothing? Okay, so great question. So Deanna, if you look at my video previously on narcolepsy, we kind of touch on this a little bit. So you were diagnosed with idiopathic hypersomnia, which is another video I just did about people who are excessively sleepy. Now, narcoleptic tendencies, that's kind of what you're describing, which is what we call hypnopompic and hypnagogic hallucinations. Okay, so what happens is when we go into REM sleep, that's when our body dreams, or that's when our mind dreams, we should say. We dream actually throughout the night, but we tend to remember the ones in REM, and our body actually goes into a paralyzed state normally. Okay, so as to not act out those dreams. So what's going on here, if somebody has narcolepsy, we think of it as a disorder of REM sleep, where REM sleep is kind of happening where it shouldn't. A person's going into it too quickly. Now, I don't know what what this study showed that was done here, because I don't have access to it. But what I would tell you is what you're describing to me, the sleep paralysis, the hallucinations, all that is part and parcel of narcolepsy. So, yeah, you could try something like melatonin or really any sleep aid, but there's better things out there, such as Xyrem, XYREM, and Xywav, XYWAV. So you definitely want to talk to your provider about that, okay? Somebody who diagnosed you with these things would have opinions on those types of medications. What they can do is help consolidate your sleep, and they may, in fact, reduce some of these symptoms, okay? You could try, like I said, melatonin or something of that ilk of some other sleep aid to maybe try to sleep through these. But definitely, this sounds to me like narcoleptic symptoms, and there's ways to treat that. Okay. But, just in general, right, whether you have narcolepsy or other sleep conditions, you want to make sure that you're getting quality sleep, right, and not being sleep deprived one night and then getting 12 hours the next night. You want to be very, very consistent. And if there is any other sleep disorder there, you want to make sure you're taking care of that, okay? So some work to do, but hopefully that helps. All right. Next, Felix writes, and these next few ones were based on the Philips recall that happened last, by the time this video comes out, a couple weeks prior. So if you're curious about that, I have a video on what happened there. Okay, so Felix writes, I am in Canada. I have moderate sleep apnea. My provider, my CPAP supplier, asked me to stop using the DreamStation 1, which is one of the ones that's part of this recall. Follow the instruction. I had very bad sleep. I hope I'll get an alternate machine to function properly in the day. Yeah. So what's happening, and this kind of keeps changing as it's progressing, but typically what's going to happen with this recall is Philips will either provide new machines. The DreamStation 2 is not part of this whole craziness with the recall, so that machine does not have that same rubber piece or whatever it is that's causing the cancer. For those of you who don't know, all of Philips Respironics machines, their CPAP machines, their ASV machines, their ventilator machines, they all got recalled because they have this component inside. It's like a rubberized piece which dampens the sound. That has been shown to cause cancer. So they're recalling all these machines except for DreamStation 2. So what I would tell you, Felix, is it's important, because you do have sleep apnea, is to make sure you're sleeping on your side or on an incline. Okay, you want to avoid being flat on your back. Additionally, there are other options for treatment, such as a dental device. Okay, which I've made videos on that. Or if you have the means, just buying another machine. Right, and that's not ideal, but that's something you can do for right now. Okay, this is very unfortunate for everybody, and I really feel for patients who are dealing with this. Then Ernie writes on YouTube also about this issue. I have used my wife's input. Woman's pantyhose between the tube and the mask acts as a filter. Now, that's a pretty ingenious idea. I can't recommend that. I don't, the company I don't think recommends that. So legally, I can't say that's a good idea. I like the thoughts, but really the recommendation is to stop using it and get a new machine. What I tell my patients, though, is if you have severe case, I'm recommending people continue to use it. Okay, but definitely talk to your CPAP supplier and discuss that with them. Okay, what you just talked about. Okay, the man writes, that's his name. 15 years ago, System 1, right? They knew exactly what they were doing about this many years ago, experts claim. You may be right, the man. It's unfortunate, that's kind of in the realm of conspiracy, but if that's the case, yeah, there's probably going to be a class action lawsuit coming then from this. Again, it's very unfortunate. I didn't like Philips Respironics machines anyway, but now forget about it. Okay. P. Young writes, it is very irresponsible to merely stop using all affected machines. For obvious reasons, that users stop the machines, not to buy the machines, blah, 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 suffer severe symptoms, a reputable and responsible company, blah, 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 blah. Philips should seek a refund. And then he ends, to all my fellow OSA sufferers affected by this unfortunate recall, please stay safe and try sleeping in a position like your side to facilitate breathing. Yes. So thank you, P. Young. Yeah, sleeping on the side or an incline, a dental device, buying a new machine. There are other options. Weight loss, avoiding alcohol, avoiding smoking. These are all things you can do in the meantime while this is all being worked out. Again, this channel is not meant for medical advice. Okay, this is just my opinion, and it's for educational purposes. What I am telling my patients, though, okay, this is just me, is to keep using the machine if they have severe sleep apnea. Okay, because I think that there's the risk in that case outweighs. I mean, the benefits of treating the severe sleep apnea outweighs the risk in this case. Okay, but again, that's my patients. This is not for you personally out there. This is just, what I do. You have to talk to your provider about that. Okay, your medical provider. And then finally, Penelope writes, There's a lot more side effects than what Philips is putting out. I'm losing my vision. Prior to the DreamStation, I had 2015 vision, sinus problems now, so on and so forth. I'm having problems getting the supplier to replace this with the DreamStation 2. I'm looking for an attorney now. Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, I could see a class action lawsuit happening from all this. But forget about the legal side of it. I mean, just this is people's health, and makes it harder for doctors and patients, and for patients to trust doctors or providers when this kind of thing happens, and it's just unfortunate throughout. So, yes, I am pretty ticked off myself about what happened, but all we can do is go forward and try to make the best of the situation. That's what we can only do in life anyway, right? So just to reiterate, if you have Philips Respironics machine, or Respironics, or Philips, they go by different names, and it's not the DreamStation 2, check it out. Just make sure it's not DreamStation 2, then you are due for this recall. So talk to your medical provider, talk to the CPAP supplier, okay? And that goes for ventilator machines, that goes for travel CPAP, that goes for the regular CPAP, that goes for ASV and BiPAP machines, okay? So just be aware of that, all right? So that's the comments and the questions today. Thank you all for contributing. I want this to be like a channel where we all kind of, a community, all right? So thank you for your input. For the next month, guys, please feel free to write comments and questions. If they're, like these, we will touch base and go over them, okay? So until next time, sleep well and get your machine recall.